How's it going, everyone? And welcome once again to another episode of Animal Talk Podcast with me, Ryan Ferguson.
And me, Ayrton King. Hi, Ryan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing really great, thank you. Excited to be back together again. And this time, of course, we have a guest with us as well. So, really excited. And you?
Yeah, I'm also excited to have our guest on our show. Now, our guest is also excited to be with us. And I'll give you a little bit of a background here of how this came about. At our workshop in Johannesburg Zoo, for the welfare workshop that we attended, almost like a month ago about, we did a little bit of talk about Animal Talk podcast and how it all works. And then we chucked a boomer ball into the group, and whoever caught it got the opportunity to be on Animal Talk podcast. And all the way from the National Zoo in Pretoria, we have Khomotso Madisha. How's it going, Khomotso?
Hi everyone. I'm doing well, thanks.
That's excellent. Thank you for joining us. We're really excited to have you on the show. And part of being on our show, the first thing we get to is we have to ask you, what is your favorite animal?
My favorite animal is giraffes because I've been working with them and I've developed love and passion for them, and I also love how they respond to me. And yeah, it kind of formed a bond between myself and them. Yeah, I'll say giraffe is my favorite at the moment.
That's very cool.
That's amazing. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, it's exciting to work with these animals,
100%. So, Khomotso, before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, how about you let our listeners know a little bit more about you, where you come from, how you got involved in working with animals, and how you got to where you are now?
Firstly, I'm from Limpopo. My first job was at ShopRite as a till packer, and then I got an opportunity to do internship at Mokopane Biodiversity Institute in Limpopo as well. So I studied tourism. So I got that internship because of the qualification I did. I did study. So when I was volunteering there was another opportunity at the National Zoological Garden for the wheel students. So I applied and I was shortlisted for the interview. Luckily, I was granted the opportunity to work at the National Zoological Garden. But then it was for the guest relation center, whereby I was working with the customers, interacting with them, giving them providing the service that they require on daily basis. Also part of the receptionist as well, whereby I was volunteering there on my free time. My contract was for 12 months in the guest relation center. And then when my contract expired, I decided my plan was to go back home because I didn't know anyone in Pretoria. So, but then a friend of mine offered me accommodation. And then I said, okay, since you're offering me accommodation, I have an idea of volunteering, but then the issue will be money coming to work since, well, I'm no longer earning any income. So she was like, okay, for now, let me just give you this accommodation and then we'll see how we work out for you to do something in the meantime. Luckily, I volunteered for a week. And then there was this lady I was working with. She's like a mom to me. We just clicked for the first week that we met, and then I told her about the background and where I come from, and also the challenges I've faced and overcome. And that lady, surprisingly, she didn't know a lot about me, but after telling her my story, she then offered me a lift. I told her where I was staying, and then she said, okay, since you are staying that side and you're volunteering here with us, what I can do is that every day I can come with you when I come to work because we are not staying far from each other. So this can help you But then we didn't have a guarantee of where I will end in volunteering. So I decided to volunteer. I volunteered from January 2019 until February 2020. On my volunteering, I was working at the animal kitchen where I was preparing food for different types of animals at the National Zoological Garden. Yeah, I didn't know anything about animal food preparation by then. I didn't know more about animal diets, their behaviors, why they are kept at the zoo and not in the wild. So I just thought like it's an opportunity for me to just volunteer and keep time going. Little did I know that I'm gonna fall in love with this job. So while I was preparing food, I also had an opportunity to volunteer and assist my colleagues while they feed because I wanted to see where the food I was preparing they are going. So I wanted to see what they are doing with them after I prepared them. So I was going there to see how they feed, how they clean. So I then decided that okay, since while I'm volunteering, I can also volunteer with working closely with animals. So I decided to volunteer on it was only a few minutes actually because I didn't understand what they were doing. And then after I was going back to animal kitchen. But then because of the diseases that are happening between animals and then going back to touching food, because there are also animals like primates which are sensitive. So because of the cross contamination, I had to stop volunteering there and focus on animal kitchen. I then focused on animal kitchen from 2020 until July 2024. And then I told my supervisor that I enjoy working with animals. So I also go there and see how they feed on my free time. How about I go and work closely with animals since well I have enough experience in food preparation and they approved. And then I was switched from animal kitchen attendant to animal attendant, where I was working closely with animals. So I started working with these animals from July 2024 up until now. It has been a challenging journey for me because I didn't do conservation, but then I believe that I can learn as much as I can and provide these animals with the best possible care as much as I can. Go to people where I'm stuck, ask information. So yeah, it has been a great journey. So right up until now, my daily duties usually each and every day I have to count animals and see if they are still okay and report any signs of injuries and their behaviors if I'm not happy with them. Also cleaning the enclosures to ensure that I feed where the area is clean because I can't feed food where the enclosure is very dirty. So as much as I'll never eat on a plate that is dirty, I need to um, implement that on animals as well to say, as much as I have to eat on a clean environment, even them I have to clean and then feed after. And also again, my duties is also to provide them with the supplements because we need to improve their nutrition. So the supplements that we have is the game blocks, the salt leak, for which in terms of the salt leak, it helps them to drink more water. And then the game blocks boost their nutrition. So yeah, every time when I get there, I need to count before I can do anything. And then if there's any sign, I need to inform the supervisor and the vet nurses so that they can come and check what's wrong with the animals. I'm also doing the animal interactions whereby we give visitor an opportunity to be close to the animals and also to feed, and then with the safety measures considered as well for them to say, okay, they can't get to this level for safety reasons because we don't want to have an issue whereby a visitor is hurt and we didn't give them the proper safety measures. So yeah, up until now, I'm enjoying my work. It's exciting. Yeah, that's more about me.
That's great. I think There's a lot you've mentioned, and a lot that I thought about as you were speaking. It's amazing to also just hear how passionate you are about the animals that you get to work with. And you also just made me think of,
Yes.
on for all of us that work in the industry, we all have our own journey as to how we got there.
Yes.
And I think something that you raised there as well that's also really special is often it's not just our journey. There's so many people that help us along the way, whether, like you mentioned, it's someone that's offering to bring you in with through, a lift so that you can get the opportunity to spend more time at that facility. And just thinking back on like my journey, and I'm sure it's the same with Ryan's journey, there were so many people that were so important along the way that helped us to get to where we are today.
Yeah.
So I think that was very, very cool that you got to mention that and share that with us. I think it was very special. So thank you.
Thank you.
I must admit, from my side, I got goosebumps listening to you talk because it's so good to hear the passion in your voice and how you feel about your job. And it's also such a good thing to hear when somebody starts from the bottom
Yeah.
and works their way up, because a lot of people find themselves starting in a position that's quite high up, and it's not normally their fault, but the understanding of what happens at the bottom kind of doesn't happen. And it makes a little bit of a disconnect, and we've chatted about that with Wild Welfare in our previous chat with
Yes.
them. There's sometimes a disconnect, and I think it's so good that you had that opportunity to start with guest relations, because that's also really important in our facilities,
Yes.
but then moving into a voluntary into a voluntary position and being able to do some stuff there. And then, even more important, learning directly from the bottom all the dietary requirements of animals and how important that is. That kind of sets you up for now moving into an animal attendant position where you're actually working directly with those animals and listening to you say, making sure that their enclosures are clean and you want them to be able to eat in a clean environment. These are all welfare things, and it's so awesome to get an opportunity to hear you talk about that. It just, I can't explain it. It really just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, this journey, it was scary for me at first because I didn't know anything. I had to start from zero, and I had to make sure that I do research on my own. And one thing that actually helped me a lot in this journey is that I got the support from people I was working with. I was going to the managers, from supervisors to animal attendants. I think they also loved my work rate, the energy I was bringing when I was working with them and volunteering, when they were feeding and cleaning. So I think it made everything easier for me to adjust to what they do and also learn as much as I can. So like it was scary at first, but now I love every part of it, and I'm also looking forward to make it lot of improvements in my sections.
I also think, that also just speaks to you as a person and your character, because like you said, you had to do a lot of research on your own. That speaks directly to your passion and you wanting to do better for your animals, because I can tell you it's, not everybody's always willing to go do their own research and read up on their animals, and that's probably one of the most important things to do, and to gain experience from other keepers, but also, like you mentioned, kind of chasing after them and trying to pick their brain and get, new knowledge, just also speaks, as I mentioned, to your character, and I think that's, huge credit to you as well.
Yeah, thank you. The moment you open yourself and you are willing to learn, it's gonna help you a lot. You're gonna achieve so many things because even when you fail, but with the fact that you are willing to learn from your mistakes and you are still able to go to other people and say, okay, this is what happened. How can I improve this? And then they're gonna guide you through everything, all the proper steps you need to follow, especially from food preparation, from feeding and everything. So yeah, sometimes when you have some questions for these people, it helps you a lot to learn as much as possible. and you're gonna improve as an individual, whether on a personal level and on a professional level as well. I'm not the one who's only gonna benefit from this. I'm gonna gain more knowledge and experience, but at the same time, the animals will benefit as well because they're gonna gain proper care from myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so just listening to you 100%, it's good to ask questions. And I think, as mentioned before, when I met you at the welfare workshop, you were also quite excited about SACA, the South African Animal Keepers Association, and getting involved there. And I think it's so important because you have that drive to ask questions. And the Animal Keepers Association is just about developing the keepers and getting them talking to each other. And that's exactly what you're kind of doing at your facility. But now, being a member of SACA, you have a whole wide amount of people that you can actually tap to and get information about, which I think is also really exciting. And I'm sure you're excited about that as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited, honestly. I was so happy after catching that ball, But then before even I can catch the ball, while you guys were busy presenting, I was like, okay, now after this presentation, during our break, I'm gonna ask how I can join soccer. Luckily, I benefited by merely just catching the ball. Now I'm a member of soccer, but then I was willing to actually join soccer before that opportunity came. So yeah, I'm excited.
Who knew that being able to catch a ball quite easily would get you involved like this? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I was so scared after I had anxiety to say, oh, I'm going to do a podcast. Okay, I've never done this before. But then what am I going to say? That's why I was busy asking, like, what are you going to ask me? And then you kept on saying, just relax, it's just a normal chat. I was like, no, this guy wants to put me under pressure
Yep.
and I don't like it. Okay, let me just relax. Yeah, the more you said, just relax, it's just going to be a chat and getting to know you. I said, okay, let me just be free because
Yeah.
the more scared I am, is the more I'm gonna worry and run away from the podcast. And now I'm here and I'm excited and I thank you for this opportunity actually.
Of course, no problem. Yeah, we're so excited to have you, and it's just great listening to you. I could just sit here and listen to you and not even ask you questions. Just let you talk about everything and anything. But there is something that also excites me. I know that you learned a lot at the welfare workshop. I could see you being a little sponge and absorbing absolutely anything and everything you possibly can. And we have
I'm
chatted quite a
excited
bit.
to hear about this part too.
Yes, we've chatted quite a lot via WhatsApp, a couple of things. So I want you to tell the listeners exactly what you experienced at the workshop and how it's affected you on your return to the facility and what you have started there.
Honestly, from my side, I thought I knew how to take care of animals up until I was at the workshop. Actually, I was the only animal attendant at the workshop. The rest were my supervisors, and the other one was a curator. So I was the animal attendant, and I was worried at first to say my manager believe in me to such an extent that she can send me to this workshop with the people above me. Why? And then I called her to say, okay, why did you send me here? Because I only see the supervisors and managers. There is no animal attendant here. What am I going to do here? And then she said to me that, relax. I gave you that opportunity because I knew that you want to learn a lot with working with animals. And again, that workshop will really benefit you. I said, okay, let me just give it a try and see what will happen. I thought I understood empathy on animals, honestly, but the workshop actually really helped me a lot because now I understand what is empathy on animals and how important it is to practice it on daily basis because animals also experience emotions like us. I didn't know that animals can recognize the way I interact with them, and the way I dress as well, my attitude towards them, and to say if I'm aggressive towards them, they're gonna be aggressive as well. They actually respond to what I do. So I was like, okay, since while I'm here, let me learn as much as possible. And then during the workshop, I also managed to interact with other visitors as well, the attendees, to say, okay, I'm having these animals at my workplace and I'm working with these ones. How can I improve the life of the care of these animals? And yeah, little did I know that I'm gonna meet people like Morgan and also Margaret as well. It was also good to meet people like you guys and also Candice. I didn't know that animals also have associations which protect them and their well-being. I didn't know that there are associations like SACA which support us as animal keepers and provide us with the best possible guidance to ensure that we take care of these animals. That workshop was very useful for me actually, because right now I managed to decide that okay, we're gonna form enrichment committee at our workplace, and in order for us to support each and every section that are doing the enrichment for their animals. And also for me, I want to do the target training. I've started with the research. I'm still busy with the research actually. I'm asking questions here and there, and actually Ryan is one of the people I was asking questions. I also got the support from one of the people who are doing target training on daily basis, but then the person is doing the target training only for the seals at the National Zoological Garden. And then she also supported me with the idea that I want to do target training for my animals. I'm only specializing with the giraffes and buffaloes. On other animals, I also assist with the carnivores such as lions, tigers, um, the wild dogs, the hyena and the cheetah, as well as the leopard. But I'm only going there on when they need me, especially if we have shortage of staff. But then the animals that are in my case, only the giraffes and buffaloes. So right now I'm actually focused on giraffes because I want to do the target training, which is something that has never been done before. Ish- I'm I'm having anxiety because it has never been done before. I'm worried actually about the outcome of this target training, which I'm starting with the giraffes. But from my observation, I think I'm gonna succeed in this because the animals are responding well when I'm interacting with them every day, from feeding, from cleaning. I used to be scared of them, but now I can clean while they're busy eating and roaming around the enclosure, you know. Yeah, so the workshop actually benefited me a lot. And yeah, so now um I want to continue to build that bond between myself and the animals in my care, to say I need I want them to have trust when I'm around. I want to be able to touch them comfortably without them having fear or running away, which is something that I was lacking. I've never done it with the ones I'm having now. I used to have this giraffe called Tiago. He went to Joburg Zoo. He's at the Joburg Zoo at the moment. He's the one which was hand raised. And then, yeah, we were able to do interaction with him, especially with the visitors, because we were able to touch him and brush him, you know, and he loved being touched actually, unlike the other ones which were not hand raised. But then now, since I'm starting with the target training, I'm slowly learning to feed them from my hand. I want them to eat from my hand. I'm not there yet, but I can see the signs because I've from the workshop I've learned that for me to build a bond with the animals, with the amount of food I feed every day, I need to take a small portion from what I feed and try to give them as little as possible so that they can come close to me and also want more, which is why I'm doing. So, for example, normally for giraffes, we feed them leaves like browse. So from those leaves, I take out small portion of leaves and give them so that they can eat closely from my hand. So it's amazing because they're responding well. I think if I can take out this anxiety that I have about the outcomes and focus on the process, and also getting advices from Saka. I know Ryan's there. I know I can always call Ayrton as well. Yeah, I think it's gonna be helpful for me. So if I can focus on the journey and not worry about the outcomes, it's gonna help me, and yeah, it's gonna help me to even avoid like costly mistakes, because the moment I worry a lot, I'm gonna lose focus on the steps that I have to follow, because I'll be rushing to have to reach the outcome. So I might somehow jump the steps and not get to the end goal. So I need to follow every step until I get to the level whereby the animal will be very comfortable around me. I'll be able to touch the animal, or even do maybe like x-rays as well, or even performing like medical stuff with the vet nurses. So the workshop was very helpful. I'm also compassionate with my animals, because I wasn't aware that when I come to work with a sad face, they can recognize that, because they can also see that this is not the energy that we saw when this person was happy. So they're gonna respond to my behavior on that day. So the more happier I am towards these animals, the more comfortable I am, is the more they're gonna be comfortable as well. But the more I worry a lot and not show good behavior towards them, they're not gonna respond well to me. So I need to be compassionate and say, okay, as much as I can get emotional, these animals can also get emotional as well. That's why sometimes even when you try to hand feed, they won't even participate, because they can notice your emotions, that you're not there. You are there physically, but emotionally you are not there. So the moment you put yourself in their shoes, or say, okay, for me to make this animal comfortable, I need to be comfortable as well and participate, so that they can participate. And again, I need to also allow them to say no to me. Just because I want to do the target training and I want to teach them a certain behavior, I can't expect immediate results. I need to be patient with the process, and to say, if they go away while I'm trying to hand feed, it's okay. It's not wrong for them to say no, as much as I'm able to say no to certain things. So, which is something that I've learned from the workshop and the presentations which were done by different institutions as well. I also learned a lot from the guys at the Two Oceans as well, from their presentation. And it's amazing how they deal with the fishes, because I wish I wish to be able to swim. I don't know how to swim actually. So it was amazing for me to say, oh, these people can swim and go that far. Okay, what is it that I can do and get to that level? So I want to get to a point whereby I will know how to swim as well, because it was amazing to see how they do things at Two Oceans. So yeah. So now with the from the workshop and the knowledge that I've gained, it's gonna help me improve the care of animals that I'm handling at the moment.
It's an you know what I hear. Sorry,
Yeah.
you know what I'm hearing this whole time here, Eton, is a keeper exchange at Two Oceans Aquarium.
I'm hearing it too,
it's
Ryan. I
it's
hear it there.
singing right out at us here.
No,
Khomotso's like, I need to know how to swim with the fish.
yes.
Don't worry, you can learn that.
I love exploring actually.
As long as that means I can come and help you train giraffe.
Yes, you are more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Yeah.
I think everything that you've said in what you've said about the workshop, and I really like the part where you mentioned now that you very worried and you get a lot of anxiety about focusing on the outcome, and I think that's a lot of us when we're doing training sessions. But you kind of answered your own question there, and it's amazing because as long as you're aware of it, that you need to be present in that moment, and that's what you're trying to do. And I mean, I don't think you can do anything more or anything better than that, than knowing that you need to be present when you're working with that animal. And I'm so glad that you know that both Ryne and I are here. So if you need anything, you can always give us a shout. And yeah, the same with Saka. But yeah, I'm really excited for you about everything that you are trying to implement with the giraffes, especially. It's so exciting to listen to, and it just makes me excited for you and excited to in any way be part of how we can help you achieve what you want to.
I don't want to only benefit. I wish that my colleagues can also learn from what I'm doing. It's not easy
Yeah.
to learn something that you don't know about. With the target training, I know once I can achieve this, or if I can make progress, many people will be motivated to do it, and they will be eager to know how I've learned about target training, who encouraged me to do it, and how did I start to say, okay, now I have to do this, and the challenges that I've came across. And yeah, it's gonna be amazing as well. So I'm motivated even more to say, I want to bring change not only for animals, and also to change the mentality people have on animals. And also, again, I want to improve the mentality people have on animals, because visitors coming to National Zoological Garden, they don't fully understand what we do on daily basis and what we do to practice animal welfare. Because for some, they'll think that animals have to eat each and every time when they pass around, forgetting that animals in captivity, they're not like animals in wild. They are different, but we try to at least match their behavior in wild, for which we can't fully match them, but we can try the best possible care that we can do to say, okay, now we have to practice this, but we can't really match them, because in the wild they can do whatever they want. So in captivity, we try to match it. That's why we give them different feeding station, so that they don't only eat at one station. They have variety of station where they can go and eat. That's why we also give them different types of food. For animals like giraffes, they eat different types of browse. Today I can give them mulberry, tomorrow I give them white stinkwood. So we just rotate around to say, no, I can only eat pap as a person each and every day, pap and chicken each and every day. I need to change. Tomorrow I might crave for maybe burger. So we need to also practice that on animals, to say we can only feed mulberry only. So we need to rotate and also give them supplements.
Yep, variety is the spice of life.
It is. It's something all our animals need, and I think it's something that we all face. I also just wanted to touch on what you said about you wanting to empower the other staff at your facility as well, so that when they see what you're doing and when they see target training, that it might inspire them. And I mean, from some of the stuff I've done at Two Oceans, you start doing something with enrichment, and quickly there'll be colleagues asking, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this a certain way? What is this supposed to do? And it's so important, because it starts this conversation. And I've had it in many experiences where we do something in one exhibit, and the next minute there's a whole bunch of other staff that want to do it for their animals as well, because it's kind of this ripple effect that just gets sent through, because everybody just gets inspired from the next person, which I think it's going to be the same for you when your colleagues see not only the target training you're doing, but also the passion and the connection that I can already have with those animals.
Yeah. And people actually tend to criticize something that they don't have knowledge about. But then it's our responsibility to give them this knowledge, to say, okay, I'm doing target training because of 1, 2, 3. This is what I'm hoping to achieve. For example, with the giraffes, I want to be able to touch their feet and also take care of their hoof. that building that bond so that they can become around me and my colleagues as well. The body positioning so that they can be able to show me a certain body as I require them to do so. So yeah, I think it's gonna be amazing once these people actually see the work that I put in every day. They're gonna be motivated to say, okay, why not we try it as well?
Definitely. That's so exciting to hear you say that. And also, I know that people will watch you and get excited about it because I can just hear the passion
Yes,
that you
yes.
have for it. And I think that's
And because we're
that's
getting excited about it.
yeah, exactly. And let's just say that listening to this podcast, everybody's going to get excited about it. So yeah, it's been so great to chat to you, Khomotso, and hear everything that you've been doing and how much you've learned. And it's made my day.
Yeah, and I'll surely give you guys feedback in terms of my journey and how everything is going, the challenges I'm facing each and every day. I love posting my animals, and I love the fact that Ryan can also comment and say, okay, I see this animal did one, two, three. Why do you think it did that, or what were you trying to do? And then I do explain that no, I was trying to touch it and then it ran away. And then he'll come to me and say, okay, no, this is what we have to do. You need to be patient. You need to start slowly. Don't rush to touch it. Start with the steps on how to for you to get to that level of where you can be able to touch, but you can't touch it immediately from the head and brush it, especially if it's something that has never been done before. So you need to start from scratch and learn how to build that trust until they are comfortable to let you and allow you to touch them. And yeah, thank you for the support, Ryan. And I'm sure I'm gonna go to 18 as well.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. You know what? We all start somewhere, and we all make some sort of mistake here and there, but we learn from those mistakes. And as long as we don't keep repeating them, and we learn from them, and we're able to expand our knowledge through it, it makes a huge difference. And don't worry, the animals don't hold a grudge against you because of it, because they're also learning at the same time. So it's all a learning process.
Yeah, and I think, it's also, I think the hardest part of any process when you start training is starting. You got to start somewhere, and sometimes it feels so like you're so overwhelmed by where to start that it just delays you from starting, but you've already started. So I think the the worst part is over, and it can only just get better from where you are now. Another tip I would recommend for you is, if you have a colleague, or you can put your phone somewhere while you're training, is also just record the training sessions like you've mentioned, because I know from my experience that's been super valuable for me, because then afterwards I can sit back and watch things like you mentioned, like your body language, your how you maybe moved around the animal, your facial expressions, because that all plays into what we're doing when we train, but sometimes we're not always aware, and that's helped me a lot over the years.
Well, I think it's been absolutely amazing having you on the show, Khomotso. Thank you so much for joining us. We've really covered so much, and there's also so much we can chat about. If we had way more time, we could talk for days, I think, on all of this. And just like Ayrton said, we're always here, so you're welcome to chat to us and ask us anything. We're available to help. So yeah, I think it's great to be part of a group of people, that are passionate and enjoy being with animals. And yeah, I think it's really, really cool. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, even though I was worried at first. But yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. And yeah, I will always come to you guys for any information or any help that I need to make sure that I improve the care of animals that I work with. And yeah, it's so amazing to actually find out about Saka and what they do, and other different the institutions and associations as well, to say, okay, there are people who support animals actually, and also not only animals, also for us to say, since when we work with animals, we need to also ensure that our well-being is taken care of as well, for us to be able to practice this on animals. So it's amazing to hear about SACA, and also it will be a great thing for people to actually follow SACA, especially the animal keepers, to actually follow SACA and enjoy and actually to be part of the SACA members. So yeah, from my side, I really appreciate everything, and also for Ayrton as well. It was amazing to meet you guys at the workshop for welfare. Thank you so much, guys.
You are most welcome. I think Ayrton, you and I are done now. He's pretty much done the ending. He's spoken about keepers. He's spoken about soccer. We can go home.
I think we should have just given him our handles, our social media handles.
Exactly. He was pretty much on it there. I was just like, where are we going with this? We're going to the ending and you're just saying it all, which is great. We don't have to say anything. But going on to that, thank you so much for bringing up soccer again. If you guys are interested in joining soccer, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is just go onto the website, soccer.org, and click on the membership area and read through it and become a member. It's simple, it's easy, and there's a whole lot of benefits about becoming a member with soccer. All the communication, and like Khomotso said, it's great to be a part of a group of people that are really passionate about animal welfare and animal care. So if you'd also like to chat a little bit more about our podcast, and if you enjoyed the podcast, let us know about it. You can either contact us on our email address, which is animal.talk201@gmail.com. There you can chat to us, or you could also like us on our social medias and subscribe, and Ayrton will tell you a little bit more about that.
Of course, we have all our social medias. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're on also various podcast apps as well. So our handle is Animal Talk Podcast _ZA. So you can go find us there. And don't forget, as Ryne mentioned, go follow us on Instagram, go subscribe to us on YouTube. Please just help us to share Animal Talk Podcast so that we can spread the passion and the information that we are sharing on the podcast across the animal industry, because that's ultimately our goal.
100%. Thanks very much, everyone, for listening. It's been great having another guest on our podcast. And remember, animals are our passion.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And remember that our quality of care is their quality of life. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
After all what we just discussed, can you imagine if we lost it all? Let's not talk about that. I've experienced that before. It's not great.
Otherwise, we'd literally be coming back saying, Khomotso, what's your favorite animal?
But it's not wrong to start from
And then
scratch.
Ryne and I... And then we have to act all surprised that we don't know already that it's a giraffe.
Like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, where did we kind of drop off there?